By now, you know the power of Microsoft Azure to transform modern work. But once you begin your cloud journey, how do you make sure it's successful? With me now is Madan Ramakrishnan, VP of Azure Customer Success. He joins us via Teams. Hi, Madan.
Hello, good to be here. And I just want to kind of call out for inclusion. My name is Madan. I'm a East Indian male. I'm bald, I have brown skin. I'm wearing a light gray shirt today.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us. So, whether people are new to Azure or have been using it for a while, where should they start to identify their gaps?
Yeah, great question. Getting started in cloud can be confusing with so many options and advices. My recommendation is to leverage the Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework for Azure, conveniently located at aka.ms/CAF, as the authoritative resource and toolset from Microsoft, right, to guide you through an easy, simple, step-by-step assessment-led process on how you can get started. Starting with your adoption strategy, to understand the financial impact, the cloud economics, the standard chain management needs that you have, and then preparing a holistic plan for your cloud environment, right, with the right foundation on identity, security, networking, and you basically use that as the best starting point with the latest and greatest, guidance for resources, using technology like Azure landing zones, as well as teams, right, within Microsoft, as well as partner teams to get going. Now, if you're already on Azure and you're thinking about like, hey, I want to onboard workloads, say a database workload with SAP or SQL Server, or you're doing an app modernization project, there our authoritative guidance resides with Azure well-architected framework, again, conveniently located at ak.ms/WAF, that gives you prescriptive guidance on architecture aligned with current policies and governance principles. And again, you have a ton of continuous learning resources at mslearn and docs.microsoft.com, as well as several trained and certified professionals, right, both from Microsoft as well as our partner ecosystem. So in summary, cloud adoption framework and well-architected framework are the keys to adoption and innovation success, and we have a whole ecosystem ready to support.
Amazing. I love hearing that we've got frameworks in place to really guide folks along that adoption pathway. So, what are the top 3 actions that you've seen Azure customers use to grow their businesses?
Yeah, I've had the good fortune of building, launching, and now helping adoption of Azure since 2009. And throughout the decade of helping customers adopt Azure successfully, the top 3 actions that came to my mind are prepare, adopt, and innovate. Let me explain. Preparing the organization in the customer environment to kind of be ready to adopt Azure is more than just technology and tools that we provide. It's a people transformation as well as process transformation, right? Think about skilling, think about change management and creating a center of excellence. Think about a cloud operational model of cost, trust, and compliance governance, as well as leveraging the best practices that we have, as I mentioned in Cloud Adoption Framework. Number 2, on being able to adopt, right? Workload adoption, with a clear ROI leading to business outcomes, right, is what our well-architected framework is all about. And we have tools like Azure Advisor that provides, near real-time recommendations so you can stay evergreen on top of Azure platform. And then the third one is innovate, right? You want to think about moving beyond migration and modernization initiatives, which are important, it is necessary, but it's not sufficient, right? You come to cloud to kind of extract value so you can differentiate by creating new value for your end customers. So there, we think about creating guidance specific to the industry use cases, and that is available today for you to digitally transform. Then this often is a conversation beyond Azure, Allison, where you're thinking about Power Platform and using Azure, or you're thinking about using Microsoft Teams to enable more productive app experiences. And that's where a lot of our guidance is, again, in mslearn and docs.microsoft.com. So again, in summary, prepare, adopt, innovate. Those are the 3 key action verbs.
Prepare, adopt, innovate. Y'all heard it here first. Okay, and my last question for you. How do you recommend customers stay on top of their deployed workloads to make sure they're really operating at peak efficiency?
Yeah, good question, Alison. I think there are 2 drivers here. One, Azure as a platform is continuously innovating. I mean, you saw today, and yesterday, over 100 features and services that were released at Ignite Week. Two, customers' own workload landscape can evolve, right? And the requirements change, since it was originally deployed. For example, a retail application, during pandemic had to scale 10x, right? So those two drivers are the reason why, our well-architected framework is a combination of tools as well as a process, right? That a customer can basically, just like how you would go to a dentist, every 6 months, or you will take your car to do an oil change every 3,000 miles. Now we have a robust and a well thought through process that allows you to do assessments, and we have scores from Azure Advisor that evaluates the Azure estate across 5 pillars, right? Security, reliability, operational efficiency, performance, as well as your ability to kind of manage costs. And you can constantly look at those scores and do remediations, so that way you are confident that you are running on the latest and the greatest best practices, and you're extracting as much value from Azure.
I love that. Thank you so much for joining us, Mohan. We'll chat soon.